Life always has many things to bring you down. But what can really bring you down is your attitude. Your attitude, the way in which you will engage life. Indeed, there is a possibility that you will be brought down. It is on Good Morning Liberia-VOL 104.1, and it's great to be on this radio, folks. We'd like to say good morning to all of our listeners, our regular listeners. It's great to be back on this Monday's edition of the show. Good morning, Liberia. It promises to be good this morning. And those of you watching as well, let's have ourselves a great time on a beautiful Monday. Oh yes, my name is Abraham Parker. Harris Willie will be here very shortly. We're going to do it together up to 10 o'clock this morning. Oh yes. So all you need to do is share the live and let's have conversation this morning. To speak in the best interest of Liberia. It's about Liberia, the collective interest. Oh yeah, so those of you watching this morning, I encourage you to share the live. Invite somebody. Ansu Comer says, I'm following. Is it from Clay, Bombing County? Papi Keita says, good morning, Liberia, voice. CDC, Papi Success Keita from Duport Road. Thanks for joining us. And those of you watching as well, all you need to do, just invite somebody. Let's have conversation this morning. Share the live. Too many things to talk about in the best interest of Liberia. Oh, yes. And this morning, let's just give you the rundown of things we'll be doing here this morning. So I gave you, those of you following, let's say 2 minutes to share the live and just tell it exactly where you're following us from. And we will acknowledge you following this morning on a beautiful Monday morning. Yes. So those of you watching, would like to say good morning, our special viewers. You are so special on this edition of the show. So you just tell us exactly where you're following us from, and we will acknowledge you following this morning. Baby Liberia says good morning. Okay, thanks for joining us, and the rest of the folks, viewers as well, following you so special on this edition of the show this morning. So we will speak with our correspondents, yes, coming up very shortly. The National Elections Commission will roll out the second phase of the that's the biometric voter registration exercise. The first phase was seen in 6 out of Liberia's 15 counties. You have Grand Bassa, Montserrat, Margibi, Grand Kitmount, Bomin, and Wapolo were the 6 counties that participated in the first phase of the voter registration exercise, where that particular voter card, as per the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, will empower you to be a legitimate voter on October 10th, where you're going to go, you're going to decide whether it is best known to you, as to whether to retain the current government or to have them not elected. That power squarely lies within you, and that's why we always encourage you to take advantage of the exercise. So, Liberians in some of these areas, they not take advantage of the exercise. Yeah, so we will be speaking with our correspondents to bring us up to speed in these counties, the remaining counties, to know what are the preparations, what have they gathered so far from citizens in regards to the second phase of the voter registration exercise. So we hope to speak with our man Ruben Guam from Nimba. And Nimba Ruben will bring us up to speed. We hope to speak with the man, Viney, come out from Maryland to counter this morning to know how prepared folks from Maryland, citizens from Nima, and we hope to squeeze in Obi Smith as well from Bong. He'll be, hope he picks up Camilla very shortly so he can tell us exactly where are we as it relates to the preparation linking the second phase of the voter registration exercise. There are 6 counties, citizens in the first 6 counties participated in, and indeed we were so good that the process went on, and we had to participate into the process because it is our constitutional right as citizens of this country to get our voting card, because that card empowers us. It speaks, to a larger extent that how powerful we are when it comes to the decision making of our country. So normally at times we tell you people the decision making processes of Liberia need the involvement of every Liberian. And how do you do it? The first one is by obtaining your voter card. People did not take advantage of the process. Some said it was not important. Some decided to restrict it to personal reasons. And sometimes you see people saying that even the first people that got there, what have they done for us? What have they done as a change that is visible that, yes, indeed, as per what they've done, can empower us? But you got all wrong. Those of you who did not participate in the process, you got it all wrong. That's your power. It is your constitutional responsibility to exercise that particular power. And it's important, as always, to exercise that particular power. We hope to look at that this morning, coming up very shortly, where we'll speak with our correspondents to bring us up to speed on this particular exercise this morning. The Liberty Party is up again, and those of you who followed the Supreme Court, the ruling of the Supreme Court, the very first time they reserved ruling into that particular case, and the people are still fighting for legitimacy within the Liberty Party. You have the Nyobli Kanga faction of the Liberty Party that normally is a half political party, and then you have the Musa Bedete, who is the chair of the party. Now, Musa Bedete came out with a very strong press release, yes, just after the Supreme Court came out with that particular ruling. And we'll discuss the Liberty Party this morning in depth, and the possibility of Nyobli Kanga becoming vice, let's say running mate, becoming running mate to Jose Yuma Boaka. There is this group, those of you who followed some part of last week, that petitioned the Alternative National Congress, fellow Liberians, and the Unity Party as a political party in Liberia to accept a merger. Now, those of you who followed the issue of the CPP from 2018, 2019 up to the 2020 special senatorial elections, the CPP was very robust in a sense that, yes, they were out for business, and their aim was to unseat the current regime and the rest of it. But again, Liberians trusted the process in 2020, and they won majority of the seat. We will bring it as it is coming up as well, and you know it. That you cannot dispute. It is written all over the world how strong and powerful or robust the CPP, that's the collaborating political parties, were in the 2020 special senatorial elections. But Nyobli Kanga in Grand Basa issued a very strong statement as well, and she had to apologize to the people of Liberia and the people of Basa. We will definitely look at what she said in Basa this content, yes, as per her read out, and some of the plans, she got on board so far. All of these things, is said that they are intended to intensify the internal fight within the Liberty Party. One would say, I think the ordinary citizens are the ones suffering from some of what these political leaders will do and have a negative effect on the party. We'll definitely look at that this morning, coming up in our presentation. But it's great to be here this morning on Good Morning Liberia, a view L 104.1. My name is April Parker. Let's go over to Maryland. Hope our boy Ruben, that's Vani Kamai. Vani can bring us up to speed this morning to speak with us on that particular issue. It is great that we talk about that this morning. Vani Kamai. So those of you watching would like to say share the live. Good morning. Ruben Cannon says, I'm following you from Gardnersville, Stephen Tobert, Estate Junction. Thanks for joining us. Baby Liberia says, I'm following you from Painesville, GSA Rural Community. Papi Keita says, good morning. And Ansu Koma joins in saying, I'm following. Vani Kama, hope we can get to Viney from Maryland. Vani will tell us exactly the preparation so far. As you know, Maryland is part of the second phase of the voter registration exercise. Viney, where is Viney? Viney this morning. Okay, Viney, come on. We have to speak with us this morning on this issue. Yes, Viney will have to speak with us this morning on the issue this morning. So, good morning, Director Shan Baleman said, good morning, thanks for the hard work. He is the country director for the Kolusuku Dodo Children's Foundation in Margibi. And that foundation offers a tuition-free education to more than 300 kids in Liberia. It speaks volume to have an institution as such. So normally we talk about the rebuilding process of Liberia. The government cannot do all. That's one of the things we need to know. The government cannot do all. It is rested upon us as citizens of this country to all collectively contribute to the rebuilding processes of Liberia. And like that, where you have an institution that is offering tuition-free education to Liberian children, it speaks volume. So, but Vanning is now picking, so we'll cross over to Nimba. Good morning, Richard D. Myers Jr. says, good morning, I'm joining you from Kinjo, Grand Kitman County. Thanks for joining us, Richard, and thanks for following. Invite somebody, let's have conversation this morning. We hope Ruben picks, and we speak with Ruben this morning. Okay, Ruben is on the line from Maryland, from Nimba. Good morning, Ruben, how you doing? I'm okay, Ruben. I took you by surprise. How is Nima County this morning?
Nima is okay this morning. Nima is good.
Are you in Nimba? We've been seeing some things of recent. It's like you've been out of Nimba.
Yes, I returned Nima 3 days ago.
Okay. All right. So, Ruben, we want you to give us a fair share analysis on the issue of the second phase of the voter registration exercise, the biometric voter registration exercise. And like Liberians in that part of the country, as part of the National Elections Commission plan, where Nima County, Maryland, Lofi, Bong, and the rest of the other counties will have to participate in the second phase. What have you seen so far when it comes to preparation?
In terms of preparations in Nima for the biometric voter registration exercise for the second phase, what I see so far is awareness, because what I'm seeing here in Nima, people in Nima, you don't want to make mistake or to be caught into the web with the process where people will go and vote and register to a particular center, or leaving a center to go and register to another area. So the Upper Nima Magistrate is door-to-door campaign, making sure that people understand this biometric voter registration exercise, more especially civil society organizations that are also working with the NEC in Upper Nima, I think everyone is on awareness. And with that awareness, I think people of Nima will do better without causing trouble for NEC.
Sometimes we, like in the first 6 counties where the process was rolled out, we saw the huge influence of political parties and aspirants encouraging with their pictures being posted on the walls and billboards and the rest of it, encouraging their citizens within their constituents to take advantage of the biometric voter registration exercise. Have you also seen that so far since we are not far from the process?
You know, Paco, every meaningful Liberians will also like for, their people to go to the process with peace. So despite politicians or political actors, encouraging people to vote, we have been seeing, some prominent sons and daughters in our country, more especially in Nima, making our own flyers, calling on people to turn out and do the registration. You will see some of them with banner, some of them taking the initiative to go and conduct awareness, encouraging people to turn out so that they themselves can take decision that will be able to serve them for the next 6 years in Liberia.
There's this thing that happened in the first phase of the voter registration exercise. Some Liberians, if they not take advantage of the process, reason best known to them, some state their personal reasons, and the time elapsed and the rest of it. Have you gathered anything so far from residents or citizens of Liberia based in Nimba?
While it's true that other citizens have concern, like they have been complaining that because of the leches, I mean, these are all negative thoughts about society or about Liberia, and it's not at the detriment of anybody or any other politicians or anybody wanting to be into the process, but that will serve you for the next 6 years. But I have not seen anyone to say they're going to distance themselves from the election process or the registration process in Nima.
Okay, all right. So let's move on a bit. Looking at did we see the resignation as part of the president's mandate or in line with the code of conduct? Did we see the resignation of any official, maybe local official from the county, wanting to contest in the 2023 elections?
What I've seen so far, the local authorities here, none of them, wanting to be representative. So I cannot tell you that when the local administration angle in Nima, some of them, have resigned because they want to go to the process. People wanting to go to the process, some are the equipment and some brothers and sisters from the private sector. So that doesn't require resigning, before going to the process.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the process. Though we are not in campaign, but I know there are people who are engaging in NIMBA as per what they want to be, either the Senate or the representative slot and the rest of it. Let's look at the engagement process within your which district you in.
I'm currently in district number 2, but I'm from district number 3 in Lima.
You currently in district two, but so you're going to
Yes.
give
Sunny
so.
Kole is in district number 2, so there where I resign, I do everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So but then you normally go. Is it that you go district number three to register and the rest of it? Where do you vote
It,
in
it,
Nimba?
it, it is my choice. I've been voting in district number 3 because I know I am one of the good sons from that end, and we have to take the decision for our people.
Okay. But okay. So who is the current lawmaker for district number three?
District number 3 is Honorable Joseph Nyansamwabi, who have served the people for 5 years and running to the 6th now.
So meaning he was elected in 2017.
Yes, he was elected the lone CDC candidate elected during the 2017 process in the district.
Let's look at the engagement process from others who are coming into the race who want to unseat him. Do you see maybe a strong force, or as per your own observation, What have citizens of Nima say in terms of maybe like the change and the rest of it, maybe like to turn the weight of the opposition like it was done in 2020?
Parker, I think you wanted to speak politics, but let me tell you this for real. Electoral district number 3 in Lima, it has been one of the districts that the citizens have been suffering. This is a scenario, Parker. In 2005, we went to the process and we have this representative that did not even present tangible to the people of electoral district number 3. And then in 2011, we elected Honorable Wuleda late, and upon his election, he took sick and he did not do nothing into the district until he left out of Liberia until his 6 year elapsed. So in 2017, we elected Honorable Joseph Yanson Wabe, and as we speak, he's the worst lawmaker ever in Lima. The district going to election is just like we don't have equipment in a particular district. So right now, people that are fighting to go to the district will be like Honorable Anthony Wanyakwampa, Maurice Magio, Neke Gay. These are people that in the district looking at right now to make that decision, because as we speak, they don't even count it as equipment.
But if you say he has underperformed, is it that the general view of the citizens of Nima?
That's the general view. And district number 3 have 3 zone. They get the Yamen, the Zor, and the Gbe. So because of what I told you in 2011, we elected representative from the Gbe bill, and the person told say he did not do nothing. So the Yamen people, because of that, they said that I think it's time to present our own song. They go together, and Yamen is one of the clans in the district that have the population. So once they support you to the process, for somebody to survive in the district is difficult. And right now, as we speak, the entire citizen, they are against it.
But it is a political understanding where when this client produce a lawmaker this time around in the following election, the other client will have to produce.
It is a political understanding, but they did their vote based on region. That was regional politics, because they feel that the people of that part of the district, they have been giving them the power and nothing has been happening. So they did the regional voting 2017, and as we speak, they are regretting the vote they did too as well.
But what runs to mind now, since it was being done on a regional basis, that could somehow to be in an agreement that yes, since they elected somebody in 2017, the president did not perform, this time around they will have to switch back to the first people. Don't you see that coming?
The issue is, interestingly, in the district, one of the clients have not produced representative, and is where the deputy minister for state without portfolio, Anthony Wanyakwampa, from the Zor bill. So he's the lone candidate, and he's the candidate that most of the clients looking up to be the net representative, because the client in question are not produced and representative in the district.
So it draws us back to the political agreement that I talked about. So 3 clans, so you will have 3 different clans producing lawmakers.
Yeah, that would be.
But let's look at the population in the last clan that
the clan has 22,000 voters.
22,000.
Yeah.
That could just equal to it. Then that particular district is big.
The district, one of the districts that the people in Lima calling for division in Lima is to receive another political seat.
Okay, that is in District 3.
Yeah, that is District 3. There where Arsenal Mental operating.
Okay. Okay. All right, Ruben. So we appreciate you. Is there any other thing for Nima we can talk about?
If anything come out in a week, you will be informed. But right now, everyone just in gears, fully moving for the parliamentary voter process. Training is in session, and people yamming to register and then take decision that will run them for the next 6 years in Liberia.
Thanks so kindly for joining us for Nima, Ruben.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ruben Goin is our man there for Nima. Very excellent in pushing the point. So, the exercise is healthy, and we really want to know, as per the understanding of people. Let's look at Maryland. We hope our guy from Maryland can speak with us this morning. Vanning Kama. Vanning can speak with us this morning. Okay. Vanning. Okay, Vanning is on. We hope Vanning can speak with us this morning on Good Morning Liberia, VOL. The National Elections Commission, like we said, will conduct the second phase from Maryland County. Good morning, Vanning. How are you? Oh, okay. So I think our guide is in transit. Yes, we can get him back this morning on Good Morning Liberia. This is Good Morning Liberia. We're going around the country to speak with our correspondents, to bring us up to speed, looking at preparation ahead of the conduct of the second phase of the biometric biometric voter registration exercise in the remaining counties right here on Good Morning Liberia. So we're still here, folks. Those of you just joining us, would like to say good morning and welcome. But we cross over to my Gibi. It's our understanding that a library for students in that part of that is Firestone, a Coventry region, was dedicated on yesterday by Firestone residents in the United States of America. Or to bring us up to speed this morning. Okay. So when we can get to Harrison this morning, Harrison will tell us more about the exercise indeed. That's the dedication of the library in Margibi County. Good morning, Harrison. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Paco, and good morning to our listeners.
It sounded like someone who is still in bed.
I'm not feeling too well, so I'm home.
We're transitioning it. So from the dry to the rainy season, you see these things happening. So for me, I've been down for some weeks now, but it's great to be here. How is Margibi County this morning, though you are not faring too well?
By the way, Margibi is okay from our end. We are grateful to God this morning.
Okay. That's good. It's nice we have you. But there's this development, Harrison, that we want to talk about before we can get to the dedication of the library. The last time we saw students from Harvard College protesting, calling for the reopening of that particular institution. The students said that they've gone months without reopening, and they were calling on the government to intervene. Where are we now, looking at the reopening of Harvard College?
Yeah, as you speak, the last time I spoke with the faculty senate president, and he said in the coming days, the college will resume no more activities. But this is as a result of the communication from Margibi District 2 representative, Albert Jones.
Okay.
So, remember, at the closure of the fifth section, Honorable June sent a communication to plenary, craving their indulgence to invite the leadership of Harvard College.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the closure. So the host took the decision that the leadership of the host meet with the Harvard College administration, knowing that they are going for a break. So the leadership met with Harvard College, and they asked them, what are some of the issues you guys are ongoing? Then maybe you guys are out of normal activities. And then the Controller General, said that one of the reasons is the government is indebted to the college $13,500 United States dollars.
The government is indebted to the college?
Yeah, from the last budget.
Okay.
The last budget was around $541,000, little over $541,000 United States dollars. Of that money, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning was owing the college, or is owing the college, $13,500. It is because of that $13,500 they decided to close the college for 4 months. According to him, the reason is the 13,500 belongs to the part-timers, those who are in the institution who are not employed with the government. They are part-timers. He said the 13,500 belongs to them. And another thing they say, the vice president doing her country tour visited Harvard College and then asked the students what are some of the issues. And the students outlined some issues along with the administration. And one of those issues were the electrification of Harvard College. So the vice president promised that she will meet both her boss, which is the president, and that of the management of fires to see how best they can negotiate that fires will be available electricity on the campuses of Harvard College. So they said it was one of the reasons why, because since the vice president promised them, they yet to see current on the campus.
Okay.
So those two issues were the main ones that they closed the college. Well, one of the things people within the country are saying, why would the college or the administration of Harvard College close the institution for little over 13,500? They received a budget of 541,000. Of that amount, a good portion of it was paid. Why is it that 13,500 you should close the institution? But following that meeting, the House Speaker instructed the clerk to send a communication to the Ministry of Finance mandating the Ministry of Finance to pay the balance 13,500. And following that communication, according to the district lawmakers, the Ministry of Finance were able to make available such amount to Harvard College. We're not been able to verify from the administration because I spoke with the lawmakers on Saturday.
Okay.
We're not able to verify if they've been able to receive the 13,500.
But the lawmaker confirmed that the Ministry of Finance was able to give the money to them.
Yeah, according to him, because once the speaker instructed the clerk and the clerk do a communication to the Ministry of Finance, they also received a copy. The Ministry of Finance acknowledged their communication. So by that, it showed that they are doing something towards or they have done something towards the 13,500. But like I said, we've not been able to verify whether or not they received from the Ministry of Finance from the end of Harvard College administration. But as we speak, beginning this week, I'm told they will start distributing gray sheets on the campuses of Harvard College, and hopefully by next month, the resumption of classes will begin.
Okay, so meaning the issue of the 13,000 have prolonged the issue of Harvard College now being open to students when you have a budget of 500,000.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are yet to understand. And one of the things some of us say is that people within the administration wanting to politicize education, both from the end of the president down to the janitor within the administration of Harvard College.
You say they want to politicize education. What do you mean, housing?
Why is it that you would deprive students from quality education or from access in education because of 13,500? This is the point, right? There are instructors within the institution who are on government's payroll.
Okay.
And instructors are more than the part-timers. If you claim that you close the institution for 13,500, what becomes of those instructors who are on government's payroll? They were taking pay. They were not at home. So people who you claim that they are part-timers and you close the school for 13,500 because you're holding them, they are not many. Why couldn't you open the school, those who are on government payroll, go and teach the students? But you close the school because of few part-timers who you claim that you're holding them 13,500 after receiving little over 500 and some more thousand from the government. You close the school because of that, and you get teachers, you got instructors, you get administrators within the institution who are on government payroll. And the government is paying them since September of last year. They've been receiving pay. So they've not been working, but they've been receiving pay. So few part-timers who don't even reach 10, then you close the institution and depriving students from education. People from our side, we want you to believe that they are politicizing education rather. Because one of the issues where Farrison, according to the vice president, she's going to talk to Farrison to give Harvard College current. But yet, today, Harvard College not receiving current, so we'll close the school. So for record ages, Farrison never give Harvard College current. The school are operating. Why is it today? Why is it today that fire is not giving the college current? The administration should close the college for that reason. These reasons were not genuine or are not genuine because 13,500 lack of electricity. So yes, in time past the college can run, but this time the college cannot run because fire is not supplying electricity. Since the vice president intervened and promised that she will negotiate through a course with fire to get the institution covered. So within that same meeting, the speaker and the host's leadership plead with the management of Firestone to supply current to have the college because it is part of their social corporate responsibility. And I think some 2 weeks ago, we saw some team from the electrical department of Firestone doing the second time assessment.
Okay.
So we cannot
So an assessment was done first, and as per the pressure from because I can remember the last time when of officials of a Firestone were invited at the House of Representatives. They talk about Firestone providing electricity. So now they're doing another assessment.
Yeah, sure. 2 weeks ago, the electrical department team came on the campus.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's get to this part. I'm told that residents of Firestone based in the United States, within just 1 minute, you could speak to this, and we'll call it a day. Were able to dedicate a library in Coventry. Tell us exactly what prompted this, and what are the reactions so far from residents in that place?
Yes, so over the weekend, residents from Firestone in the Americas dedicated a library worth a little over 200,000. The structure is 117,000, and according to the president, when all of the works are completed, it will sum up to a little over 200,000 United States dollars. This money is from the pockets of members of the institution, the Firestone descendants of Firestone residents in the Americas. The president said the reason why they decided to contribute this time to education, they all grew up from here. They struggled to go to school. Their fathers, their mother tapped the rubber trees in Firestone. Some of them cut rubber, some of them dropped Firestone. And they were able to educate them. And by then, according to them, they gave quality education. But in time past, they noticed that the only library in Firestone is not functional. Many of the students find it difficult these days to access a library. So they decided this time to give back to their community, to give back from where they came. So they decided not to build hand pumps, not because it is not maybe needed by the people. They decide not to, this should be rights. They decide not to give handout, but to invest into education. And according to the president, the library will be digitalized. It will not be the normal library that we see around town where you go and just see too many books and you grab them and read. There will be few, but the library will be digitalized. So many computer will be there. You just enter whatever book you need. Everything will be done on the computer, and there will be people that will be trained for that, and they will also be in the library, be able to offer their services to the students of Margibi, not just in District 2, but the entire Margibi. But the place is situated on the campuses of the Coventry Public School. It's on a public land. So
Okay.
at that, the Coventry Public School is the direct owner of that building. But from all indications, with the uses, everyone from across, even people outside of Margibi, will be able to use that facility, according to the president.
It is certainly a good news for students in Margibi. Thanks for joining us, House. Wish you the best. Don't get sick. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We pray that we recover speedily.
Okay, this is Good Morning Liberia, and we here this morning speaking with our correspondents to know exactly what are some of the issues coming in from that country. You listened to Ruben Guam from Nima. We were talking about the rollout of the second phase of the voter registration exercise that will kick up anytime soon this April. Well, it is about time now we look into the issue of the Liberty Party. You know, the Liberty Party being one of Liberia's strong political parties since the 2005 elections in Liberia, where Liberians went to the pool, uh, looking at that election being the first democratic election after our civil unrest in Liberia. The Liberty Party emerged to be one of the strongest political parties, as its belief was to reconcile and rebuild Liberia from 2005, because we are experiencing war. You know, the Liberty Party, as per their establishment, has a very strong root from the United States of America. Those of you who follow the, okay, but I think there is this conversation that we need to have this morning, that our man, Ivani Kama, needs to bring us up to speed. Good morning, Vani.
Hello.
Good morning, Vani. How are you? I'm okay. So I was calling you this morning to tell us more. The second phase of the voter registration exercise is up, and Maryland County will be part of the second phase of that particular process. So we wanted to know, looking at preparation and what our citizens in Maryland saying, greeting the process so far in Maryland.
Well, for the second phase of the voter registration in the county, that will be started in few counties. The process of the training has started. Those that were qualified to work with NEC for the voter registration process, the process has started already, and the activity is expected to start on Saturday of next week. I mean of this week. The process is expected to start. So awareness is actually going on in the county. The politicians are also doing awareness that just in recent time, one of the aspiring arrived in the county, and the Senate Pro Tempore, Honorable Albert Chi, also arrived yesterday in last time in Pligo. He going to Grand Creek County to also do the awareness. So this tells you that the people are actually involved in the process, because this time around people are want to register, because when you get an ID card, when you get a voter registration card, that will enable you to make a better decision for Liberia tomorrow. So the awareness over in the county on the radio, and people are doing it from house to house, encouraging people to vote in the process.
So, have you gathered anything from citizens so far in the county? How do they feel about the process, and would they actually turn out to take advantage of the exercise?
Yes, yes. Many citizens actually, although in the community, people are saying that, but the issue about going to get a card is important. But sometimes people are saying that sometimes they will get a card, but to vote, because people are saying that when you vote for a leader, you vote for other people. At the end, they are the leaders can certify you. So what the essence of getting a card? But the most important thing that the education people are giving is that once you get a card, you'll be able to that will identify you as a citizens of Liberia once you reach the age of 18. So it is also important. But Parkers are the awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Before the activities started, people was actually that much weak in the process, but now a massive awareness is actually going on in the county, so people are convinced, because there's nothing like when when the vice president came just in recent time, she said that she told people that it is important that you get your your voter registration card, because when you get a card, you'll be able to use it to go from place to place, because when you are traveling to it is important you will be to get a card, because once people ask you are a Liberian, you'll be able to show your voter registration card. So for now, in the bad draw, people are actually winning to turn out during the process. So we are hoping to see a massive turnout when the appropriate time reaches, when the actual time starts for the voter registration process.
Okay, so Monrovia, like say the first six counties have shown a practical example that these things also happen in the rest of the counties, where you see politicians printing posters, placards, and billboards, encouraging citizens with their pictures on it for people to vote. Do you also see that in Maryland?
Yes, yes, it's happening in Maryland County. Politicians, printing placards, even T-shirts,
encouraging people to go and register to get a voter registration card. So far last month, the Prince of Speaker Chimon also launched the voter registration process, encouraging people in the process. So politicians are actually involved in the process. They are doing it. They have placards. They have posters.
Okay. All right. Thanks so kindly for talking with us from Maryland. If there is this issue that has, I think the issue of who will be contesting those in the current position has been laid to rest. I'm told, as per the report you gave the last time, there were people who were occupying positions being appointed by the president had to resign because they had developed interest in contesting in the district's seat in Maryland.
Yeah, yes. The mayor of the city of Harper, the former mayor, she resigned, and now Somali is acting as mayor, and one of the commissioners, the commissioner of Harper district also resigned to also contest as representative to unseat Representative Pima Jury. So all of them, those that actually that were appointed by the president, they are resigned and are wanting to contest this election. They are resigned to contest. So all of them are in the process encouraging people to register to get a voter registration card so that they can be able to vote camp October 10th this year.
Okay, but there was this story from Maryland, from the Speaker's Chima's district. There is somebody who says he will defeat the Speaker. Let's look at his working in Maryland County.
Well, there's from the district of the speaker, one of the aspirants, Honorable Anthony Flip Williams, he arrived in the county on Friday. Last week he arrived. He had more people that turned out to meet with him because he came. He used the airway. On Friday, he used the airway. So people came from Plibo that went to Harper, that met him from Harper up all the way to Plibo. So, according to him, doing the elaboration, he said he actually prepared to unseat the speaker Chimon, this election. But so the issue is that the speaker has served for the past 17 years. He has served the district. So the speaker too has his own people that are believe in him that are already with him that are supporting in the process. So the elections in Plibo district actually it's going to be tough because the guy who is coming in contesting battling the speaker, he has population in the county too, in the district.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Vani. Thanks so kindly. Thanks for taking your time and speaking with us.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So it ends the exercise this morning on Good Morning Liberia. We just wanted to know so far the rest of the gas eye had not been reached as per our understanding so far. So we're going to go into the process this morning. You know, the Liberty Party current chair, Musa Bedete, issued a press statement, which of course we'll read out for you, and we want to analyze bit by bit some of the things he said in that particular release, and what do the Liberty Party stand in some of these things. It is important we look at the standing of the Liberty Party as a political institution and what is exactly is lacking as per their understanding in the participation of this particular thing we call election, where you have Liberians or supporters of these political parties going. So over the weekend, the Liberty Party, its chairman, issued a press statement informing the National Elections Commission, the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, and other civil society organizations that the party or these civil society organizations, including the National Elections Commission, should not do business with its political leader, Nyobli Kanka Lawrence, on the basis that she was being suspended or being expelled as political leader of the party. Prior to this, on the other hand, the Nyoblikanga's fashion of the Liberty Party over the time has been very robust, saying that Chairman Musa Bedete and his likes are also being expelled from the party, and it was not important for supporters of the party to do business with Musa Bedete. No one needs to tell you that there is a big split within the Liberty Party. There is a big split. But let's look at Liberty Party from its origin, from its formation. What runs to mind when you hear the word liberty? Attaching the word party, which makes up a political institution fighting for a goal that everything has turned the other way around. So like I said, the Liberty Party far back in the 1840s, started from the U.S., where it was introduced to abolish slavery. And the Liberty Party back then broke away from the American anti-slavery society. And they said the Constitution of the United States of America indeed was against, it was in favor of slavery. And at a certain point in time, they wanted to speak against slavery. They said it was not important for slavery to be in existence, in a sense where taking blacks from Africa, carrying them into the white line, the white people line, and at the end of the day, they've been used. So they were against slavery. That particular party from the 1840s was established, was introduced in the United States of America, the Liberty Party, to abolish slavery. And like we said, it broke away from the American anti-slavery society because they wanted the Constitution to be clear. They wanted the Constitution to be in favor of everyone, regardless of your colors, regardless of your affiliation, regardless of your status in society, but they wanted a clear country like the United States of America. So that particular movement called the Liberty Party was established. What happened? Like other political institutions, or like you have the ANC in South Africa, you have the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighter as well, where you have, the rest of the guys. Now in Liberia, you have the EFFL. Sometimes you can borrow the ideology. If you see that particular institution is very unique and it shares similar vision, what you want to achieve, be it in an organization, be it in a country, it depends what you want to do as a person. You, as an individual, can sometimes follow the ideas and the legacy of that particular institution that you wish to copy. And at the end of the day, you formulate something because you both share similar vision. So that was in the case of the Liberty Party. So from the 1840s, like we said, they were established, introduced in the United States, speaking against slavery and the rest of it. Now, the Liberty Party was introduced in Liberia, and its vision bearer, who was born April 27, 1951, in the late Councillor Charles Walker Brunskin, was famous. So let's just give you a backdrop of, the late Councillor Brunskin. In Liberian politics, prior to, he leaving this earth, he was a very strict man. And based on some of the legacy in 1997, people knew him to be an ally to former President Taylor. In 1997, he served as a Senate Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate representing Grand Bassa. And in 1999, He fled Liberia. There was this riot. You all know the story and the rest of it. The rough road between he and Charles Taylor. He fled Liberia. And at the end result, in 2003, when Liberia returned, or when peace returned to Liberia after the Ghana Peace Accord and Taylor was taken, there was this planned election in 2003, but that election did not materialize because you needed an interim government to take over to settle Liberia as it was. It was not necessary, it was not prudent by then to just host elections. So the 2003 election was postponed or pushed to the 2005 elections. What happened in 2005? 2005, the Liberty Party, represented by Councillor Charles Bronskin, picked a vice running mate, which was a female, won a winner. Yes. And then, in the 2005 election, Councillor Bronskin, because of a consistency in the Liberian politics, came third. He took third place, winning 14% of the vote. His total vote came out to 14% of the total vote in 2005. And because of what he promised in the 2005 elections, Bronskin again surfaced in 2011. Now, he talked about reconciliation. That's key. Reconciliation. That's key. It was one of the key pillars in the late Bronskin's campaign message in 2005. And he was famous. And he was famous. He became very unique because of his religious message that he preached during the 2005 elections. Look, in everything you do, you need to be clear and have a distinction. All right? So, Bronskin, if you followed the history of Bronskin into the body politic of Liberia, he was a peaceful man. Reconciliation was key on his agenda in 2005. He did not win the election. He came third, winning 14% of the vote. 2011, the issue about political marriage came in. And at a certain point, he couldn't go into a political marriage with the CDC, and Winston Totman from the CDC angle had to emerge as standard bearer of the CDC in 2011. What happened? Councillor Bronskin again contested, along with former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, because he was famous, and you had the CDC coming from 2005. The CDC featured George Weah as its standard bearer, and in 2011, having George Weah as its vice standard bearer, well, the Liberty Party came out to featuring Siakor from Bon County. Franklin Siakor from Bon County, and the selection of Siakor in 2005, if you follow, the late councillor or the late vision bearer was not just looking for anybody to emerge with, or was not looking at, but then the man was senator. He was not just looking at somebody to say, I think it is prudent that we have you because you have maybe money, or it is important we have you because you have fame. But he was looking at the issue of integrity. Now, if you had to choose a running mate in any given election, or for example, if you have a vision, and that particular vision, you want for that particular vision to go for, what do? You get like-minded people. Like-minded people people you think that can drive the vision carrier. You will always want to sell your vision to people who you think the way you think, believe that with their involvement, that vision can move forward. You're not going to bring people on board who are not thinking the way you're thinking. When you're talking about reconciliation, then the president is talking about how to encourage people to throw stones. No. Meaning that person cannot be included in what you want to do. That person is contrary to the vision you intend to protect, the integrity, the vision you want to put, and that its objectives can be realized. You cannot bring somebody who is contrary to your belief. So the late Councillor Brunskin was very decisive. He was very decisive, and in his belief, the people he chose or he selected from 2005, 2011 up to 2017 were people who he felt or he thought could drive his vision. And it was not on the basis of maybe this person, because the president has still long in the party, so we think we can select the president, we can carry the president. Integrity pays. So he selected Siako. Oh, yes. They went to the election in 2011. He did not win. At a certain point, he said he resigned. From the 2011 result, he said he resigned. 2017, he resurfaced. And it was on the basis that it was time to change the case of Liberia. And he felt that as per his vision from 2005 that talked about reconciliation or building the country's economy through leadership from 2005, he was so testy. He was still testy to rejoin, return to the race in 2017, and then he went for Solonte. What happened? From 2005, 2011 to 2017, the Liberty Party, as we said, was very mature, and the former or the late councillor became famous because of his religious message. How cool he was in preaching his politics, and he was training men. 2011, we saw the legs of other young people in the party. And that leadership ability was being exercised within the Liberty Party. Don't get me wrong. There were crazy in the Liberty Party. Oh, yes. There were disagreements on the Councillor Brunskin from 2005 to 2011 to 2017. There were disagreements. People expressed on some of the decisions. Sometimes some of the decisions he took, I know, but it did not go like the way we see in the current Liberty Party. That's leadership. So I listened to an official of the Liberty Party once. He said that back then, like I said, there were disagreements within the Liberty Party. But the vision barrier was training those who are now seen on the political stage, most especially representing the party, to be more matured, to be men, to man up in, to settle disputes when you have some. And I listened to one of the officials of Liberty Party just this one time, when he said, a question was asked as to whether there were confusions, there were disagreements. Yes, there were disagreements within the Liberty Party. But why didn't you guys speak out that time? And the excuse was that Councillor Brunskin had a party and the way in which he wanted it to go, it was the way it was going. That was not the real thing. That was not the real answer. Councillor Bronskin, as per his understanding, as per his vision, was building a political institution that when you should have left the stage, the party would be second to none. He was building a political institution. Look, in Liberia, the political institutions are not institutionalized. You see, political parties are not institutionalized. One political party is being handled. The affairs of that political party is being handled by the person who brings the vision. Once you won't get a vision, you become political leader of the party, and at the end of the day, you contest in the election or you want to contest. Everything about that political party squarely lies within your purview. Everything about that party, when it comes to funding, they look up to you. And that's why you see the recycling of politicians moving from one place to another. You see now, it is going around. Because once you have your vision, like I said from the onset, you bring people who you think can drive that vision. Look, when you have a well-structured political party, the ordinary citizens, when you get the input of the ordinary citizens into the participation or decision-making processes of that political party, obviously you will not see yourself going into confusion. But again, it becomes a whole bunch of burden when you have the political leader being the chief financier of that particular party. Anything he says will be the founder. Anything he feels like doing will be the founder. Oh yes, because he feels that he's spending his money. He feels that he's spending his money. Now, so from 2005, the Liberty Party had confusion, but Councillor Bronskin, the late, presided over that particular party, and you couldn't see the Liberty Party into the public like the way it has been seen. 2017, he contested, he didn't win. In 2017, he got 9.62% of the vote in Liberia. 9.62% of the vote in the 2017 elections. What happened? He had to challenge the result in court. They went at the Supreme Court. The national elections from the National Elections Commission, they went to the Supreme Court. The court was just right there to pass the judgment. The court passed the judgment. The neither was done as per his belief. There were some things that were not ready. We talk about irregularities. That is obvious. In election, you always have irregularities. Sometimes it is as a result of a poor preparation from the National Elections Commission, the rest of it, and not inflating figures and you name the rest. He had to leave the scene. The cool hands of death, visited him, and he had to leave the scene. Oh yes, he had to leave the scene. But this is where we are. This is where we are with the Liberty Party. So there were problems, but then, prior to Councillor Bronskin leaving the scene in October 20th, that's November 20th, 2019, prior to he leaving the scene when he died, there were problems from 2005, 2011, 2017. But he was able to manage the expectation of supporters of that particular political party. But now, the Liberty Party should have been one of the most matured political party. The Liberty Party shouldn't have been a political party settling for a second slot But again, there's a parable that says the way you will do yourself so people will dish you up in all cup. That's exactly what is happening to the Liberty Party. For 2017, 2018, 2019, onward, when Councillor Bronskin died, the young people of the within the party back then took leadership. Now the question that runs to mind is, why are those who were trained, the legal minds from the Liberty Party for 2005, those some of them are still around, 2005, 2011, 2017, that the party was managed and was not seen in dispute to a large extent. Where are they? The young people decided to take leadership. You had Benjamin Senvi. He served as chairman for the party. Now, he doesn't even concentrate on the party. The leadership skills, the abilities were all passed over to them. That, that's one of the things. Is that once you have a vision, you're not just bringing people on board because you just want to bring people on board. No, you're bringing people on board that tomorrow when you are no longer able, if you are not capacitated to lead that particular vision, the people you brought on board are the ones now will drive the vision. Because you don't want for your vision to be a dead vision. It becomes a dead vision when people who you brought on board, people you expect, or you expect to drive the vision, another vision driver, another vision carrier, but they bend on falsehood and to tarnish the repetition of that particular institution that you once bear the vision. It becomes a dead vision when people prioritize their personal interest than protecting the institution in its vision or in its objectives and the rest of it. That's exactly what is happening within the Liberty Party. The young people decided to take the mantle. They came in. 2020, it was a very heated process. You saw 4 political parties coming together, telling Liberians that yes, it is true that in their belief now, it is true you voted in 2017, and they think that it was not important to retain the current government. So in 2020, as per the records, the CPP, where you have the current Liberty Party and its full-fledged members, were into it. They were into it. They were robust. They went out. We went door to door. They campaigned in the 2020 senatorial election. What happened? The election in 2020, it was just about 2 political parties. It was just about 2 political parties. What happened? The CPP and the CDC. Prior to the 2020 senatorial elections, at the level of the Senate, the four political parties, the Liberty Party, the AMC, the UP, and the ALP, because they believed that they were into a marriage, and that marriage was, let's unite and unseat the CDC-led government. They had 11 seats. If you put their guys together and the rest of it, they had 11 seats. The CDC had 4 seats. In the 2020, they won additional 6. The CDC won 3. Seats after the CPP in 2020 now, after the election, had 13 seats at the Senate. The CDC had 5. Seat changed 2, and the CDC won. The popular vote. The popular vote in 2020. The CPP, you talk about 354,898. 354,898. It was the popular vote. It was the vote that the CPP got in the 2020 election. That was the result. And why, on the other hand, the CDC, the regime, got 246,908. The popular vote. See, so you see the margin there? 354,898, 246,908. The percentage. The CPP by then, in 2020, the same Liberty Party that we have now, that you saw the emblems of the 4 political parties being placed on pickups and the rest of it, that they were so united, and yes, it was nice that they were together. You had 40.27%. 40.27%. And then you have the CDC 28.02%. So you see the margin? You see how wide the margin was in 2020. But why you think 354,000 plus Liberians voted the CPP? Why you think 300 plus thousand Liberians voted the CPP in the special 2020 special senatorial elections? Why you think so? It was based on unity. Oh yes, because they presented a picture that they are united and they could do anything in their own power. That the case would be different as it was in 2017. The number would have changed and the expectations of the people were high at a certain point in time. So it was important to elect the CPP to power. So 2020, they proved that particular thing. What happened? They brought about rotational leadership. You will serve for the first 8-9 months, and then another person served. The ALP took it. The ANC brought about the registration of the CPP at the National Elections Commission. They went to election, special senatorial election. At the end of the day, they won good seats. 13. 6 seats. Popular seats. Popular seats. Oh, yes. And equivalent to 13, it tells that you have a strong root at the Liberian Senate back then, and your 13 members, you can use your influence because you have by then independent candidates going to the legislature. You have people that vote to Canada and going. Oh yes. You could also use your collaborative influence to get the independent lawmakers on your side, like the CDC did. So, some of the popular counties, they won. And at the end result, the rotational leadership and the rest of it, he went to Yomli Kanga Lawrence. Yomli Kanga Lawrence went there. She took over as chair for the CPP. And right after she turned over to Omen Boaka, Boaka took the leadership. What happened? Confusion broke up. Confusion broke up. They could no longer understand themselves. Other political parties couldn't turn out during that particular ceremony because they felt that the center could no longer hold. What did they see? And that's when leadership comes in. And then we expected for the old men, to play the leadership role. Right after the Unity Party took over as the old man took over as chair for the CPP, a big confusion came out, and the Liberty Party, the AMC, the ALP, the UP had to go their way. They go their separate ways, and they felt that it was not necessary to be into a marriage again, as per their understanding. But again, what practical example was shown on the part of the opposition parties that came in their numbers, or that said that the Liberians, 300,000+ Liberians voted them, and they felt that it was important to have these people elected because they presented a picture to the people that they were ready for business, they were opened. In fact, they were to be trusted. That comes October 10, they would have won or would have changed the story. But that was on the contrary. When that particular leadership role, that leadership ability was not exercised by the former vice president of Liberia, Omen Joseph Boakai. All that thing we were talking about, who won't be standard bearer, who will be a running mate to the CPP standard bearer and the rest of it, all those things were just something intended to hurt their head. Because if you have a document that says this particular thing will be based on this, if this particular thing will be based on this, let's do it this way. We will build consensus. We will make sure that the issue of who will become the standard bearer of the CPP will be transparent, fair. Let's play by the laws on the park. But if you feel cheated, fine. The disassociated, and then people went their separate ways and the rest of it. Now, the Liberty Party that we expected to be one of the most mature political parties in Liberia, because of the legacy of the former councillor, in all of what the former councillor did in Grand Bassa, it was very difficult for somebody to just easily defeat the late Bronsky in Grand Bassa as per elections. Because by then the Bassa people understood that he was their own. It was not tribal politics, but you have great people too from other counties. And that's why he was also robust to have selected people from other counties. He went Bond County. He selected somebody from there. Oh yes, you brought Kanwe from Nimba. He selected somebody from Bong. He selected somebody from Nimba. So it is not that he just sat, but these people he selected, he felt that even if he is up the hole, or if he is no longer able, they can also be able to drive the vision. So when the entire thing went the way it is now, the Liberty Party decided to, deal with that constitution. At the end of the day, yes, they and Musa Belete were riding, they were done. The Darius Delon, they were praising Musa Belete. In fact, it was Musa Belete that they wanted to be chairman. They had to go against Steve Zako. That Steve Zako was there. In fact, the chairman, they had to do something like election quick. At the end result, they made Musa Belete chairman for the party. Nyobli Kanka, political leader of the party and the rest of it. That Bokons and both said that Sonega Diabo sang in her name, that particular song, both said that in the 2020 election, that Nyobli is our inheritance and the rest of it. In fact, we need to have her retained and the rest of it. That politics were played. The first elections, it was a very tough election between she and the former defense minister, Daniel Lemontier, going further the history. She won 41% of the vote. The total number of 11,000. That particular election was competitive. Oh, yes. After John Whitfield, the late senator won Lemontier, and at the end result, he passed. And then you saw Lemontier again coming in the race, where the first election he had 30-31. They had to do a run-up, and then narrowly, Nyomli won that particular election. In 2020, when they were still together, happily moving, she won 42.01% of the vote. 42.01% of the vote, which is 22,476. That election as well was competitive. Head to head with Western Milton Finney, the former senator and former foreign minister. So we're just showing you the record of Nyomli and the rest of it, Councillor Bronskin, how they maintained Grand Bassa and the rest of it. Now, they split. Nyomli in her Western, it was important to ride with the Unity Party, where you have the former vice president. But the question comes in. It said that the Liberty Party were concentrated only on becoming a running mate or a political party that will go second to another political party in a given election, owing to the fact that the legacy of Bronskin from 2005, 2011, 2017, in some of the runoff elections, he did not support some of the guys from the opposition. He had to reserve his support, and sometimes he will encourage the partisans, go out and vote who you think you want to vote for. But I think it is not necessary to pledge my support to anybody, because he felt that these people did not, his vision he had back then, he did not see some of the political leaders back then from the opposition having the same vision. So he had a very clear vision that was far apart from people who were contesting back then, 2005 to the runoff, 2011 to the runoff, 2017, and the rest of it. So he had to reserve his support, his support, because he felt back then, I want to believe, that he did not see somebody that could easily drive the vision or the type of vision he see or he saw back then that made him to have contested 3 different times. He did not see it within folks within the opposition. So now the question comes in. So because Bronskin is off the scene, he's late. So the Liberty Party now, their only option is to settle for less, which is a political party that see themselves going as a running mate party to another political party. Musa Berete took ANC side. And at the end of the day, they started to hold and pull. The very first time Nyomli came out to say Musa was not the chair for the party. And in fact, it was not important to do business with Musa Berete. Musa, on the other hand, because of the Constitution, because of that particular convention that gave birth, that brought that even Senator Dillon, including the senator herself, supported, the man said, anybody who will do business with the people they're doing at their own race at the end of the day, he came out with a due payment policy. Now, earlier on, I talked about the issue of institutionalizing political parties in Liberia. We need to set that system. And that's one of the reasons you see the United Party is still struggling. Since the 80s, the Unity Party came to being. Auto Press, the Unity Party in our own headquarters. They're renting from place to place. Oh, yes. They're renting from place to place. So what happened now? So why you think they're renting place from place to place? It is because you need to have institutional policy. Is that when, even if it was your grandma that brought that political party, but then it shouldn't be just about your grandma, that when your grandma is gone, at the end result, the party will be useless and just be moving from place to place. You set a legacy. You set a platform. It is about a political institution. Look, that's why your vision needs to be very clear. That's why you need to bring people who you think can drive the vision from the 80s. That the Unity Party participated in election. 2005, they came out. They won. 2011, they won. If you have the participation of the ordinary people into the political decision-making processes of that political party, that disgraceful thing that came before them in Congo time would have happened, because there is nowhere you had Omen Joseph Nyoman Boaka, who at a certain point in time thought that he would have become a president for Liberia, or he would have contested on the party's ticket as standard bearer of the party. And then the idea of having a political headquarters that you will not rent, I don't want to believe that particular idea did not cross his mind. But if it didn't cross his mind, then he messed up. And that's exactly what we're saying today. Because the thing is, there are times people will bring some vision. And when you are on board as one of the vision carriers and the rest of it, there are some things that you will see, and the person who bring in the vision, or who brought the vision forward and decided to incorporate, you wouldn't see. But because of the safety, that when you guys have left the scene to maintain and uphold the integrity of that particular institution, you bring these things forth. You discuss them. Make sure you push them. And the issue of party headquarters shouldn't just be one for to be discussing. But again, that's Liberia for you. The Liberty Party had to take the Unity Party away. Nyombli Kanga, Darius DeLon, and her own folks, the rest of it, had to go to the Unity Party. Martin Kula, Musa Berete, and some executive committee members say, hey, I think we will go ANC side. They started to fight here and there. Up to press, they're still fighting. The very first time they went to the Supreme Court, the court came out with decision. There was a planned convention in Bond County, yes. The National Elections Commission placed a stay order because Nyombli had complained that Musa Berere taking the party to, convention, it was not legitimate. So they wanted for the National Elections Commission to do the honorable thing. The National Elections Commission placed a stay order on that particular thing, and at the end of the day, that convention did not hold. But what happened again? Musa Berete raised another legal issue against Nyombli Kanga. They later referred them to the Farmington Declaration. They went into it. They had to correct the wrongs. Again, they went to the court, the justice in Timor, and say she was very clear. And prior to that, the late Bronskin's daughter was clear when she said, my father's legacy is sporting. The people want sport my father's legacy. They want damage it. In fact, they have damaged it. I don't want to be on the Nyomli side. I don't want to be on the Liberty Musa Berete side. But I think it is important for you to come together. Let's forget about this running here, running there, going to court in order to regain the lost image of the Liberty Party. Let's hold together. Again, that message, which soil did that message, fall on? Nothing. Nothing materialized. And that particular disagreement exists today. Over the weekend, fellow Liberians, normally Darius DeLong and the rest of other party members were in Grand Bassa. She held a very good press conference in her belief. Some of the things that we expected her to have said, or that is in the public that no one needs to tell you that they messed up bigly, and she needed to apologize to the people of Liberia and supporters of the Liberty Party back then. She did an honorable thing. She said she should be blamed for the misunderstanding within the Liberty Party. Why? Because in her belief, they did not understand the motive of Musa Berete, and they have supported him becoming chairman of the party. Is that an excuse as a rational being, or someone who is out for settlement to regain the lost image of the party? Is that an excuse? Is it prudent now that you apologize who do not know that you guys were in the wrong, or you guys are responsible for the division within the Liberty Party today? Who don't know? Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. So, is it necessary now to focus on reuniting the Liberty Party? When Councillor Brunskin, the late, talked about the 4 hours, is it that you guys have forgotten those hours? You're talking about reconciliation, reform. Is it that you guys have forgotten that these things, or his belief back then, that he kept putting reconciliation from 2005, 2011, 2017. And now it is not necessary that the 4 hours be applied in these difficult periods of the Liberty Party? So you have one person. Anytime you get vexed, you go to the National Elections Commission not to melt in your politics or your affairs. The man uses the legal system to get at you. So she said she apologized, and they accepted the blame. While the Liberty Party is being discussed the way it is being discussed in public areas. Oh yes, you expect for the Liberty Party to be discussed because you people decided to bring the party to public disrepute. You people decided to tarnish the good image of the party because of some personal greed and the rest of it. What is so difficult that you guys cannot handle? It said that you normally want to support Joseph Boaka, and Musa Berete said will support Cummings. Do you think that a disagreement there? Why you didn't see that was so good and sweet in your mouth in 2020, the Liberty partisans? That in 2020, you people took 40%. 300 plus thousand Liberians stood behind you and said, we will elect you people to power. So it was free back then in 2020. So what is so difficult that cannot be settled within the Liberty Party? What are the legal minds? Where are those who are supposed to push the party's agenda? Those who were taught by the late Brunskin that yes, one day when I'm off the scene, these people will show leadership. So now they made the Liberty Party now to just be a political party that can go for the presidency. No. The Liberty Party cannot go for the presidency. That's how they've made the party to be. A strong political party is not a just come party to be seeking merger with other political institutions. No. The Liberty Party is not a just come party. It's not a just come party. In 2005, like we said, it came third. You had the CDC. You had the United Party. You had the Liberty Party. Oh, yes. That's the record of the political institution. 2011, you followed the record. 2017, followed the record. So it's not a just come political party or a new political party that says, since we're not strong, let's seek political merger with other political institutions, or we can feature maybe our vision bearer can go as running mate to somebody since we just come, since we just been introduced. No. But maturity pays. Leadership is what lacking within the Liberty Party. Now Musa came up with another press release. He called in that particular release. Let me just look for it. Let me just look for that release before we can get to the telephone line this morning. You know, we just decided to do it this way for you to understand. For you to understand. In that particular release, let's get the release from the Liberty Party, Musa Bedete as chairman. Okay, let's get that release right here. He's talking about a memo, Liberty Party National Headquarters, 19th Street, Sinker, blah, 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 blah. April 16, that was just on yesterday. After Nyombli Kanga and the other supporters were in Grand Bassa, apologizing to the Liberian people or to the people of Liberty Party, the Liberty Partisans, that they are to be blamed for what happened because they did not know that Musa would have presented a picture he's presenting today. That particular thing is not an excuse. Now, we're thinking, you should be thinking how to solve the problem to regain the lost image of the Liberty Party. Now, they are saying, since in fact the Supreme Court or the code was just clear to have, ruled in favor of Musa Bedete in looking at the running of the party and the rest of it, they say they're coming out Tuesday, I'm told, another new action from the angle of Nyombli Kanga will be taken. Another new action from the angle of Nyombli Kanga will be taken, which is the Liberty Party, the Nyombli Kanga's fashion. So instead of finding ways how that particular dispute can be settled, and then you guys regain the lost image of that particular political party that was so unique for 2005, 2011, 2017, you still concentrated on feeling confusion or being so instrumental that yes, our belief is Musa is not a chairman. Our belief is the internal fight within the Liberty Party will continue. So Tuesday of this week, you will be coming up with another measure, a serious measure, a very serious measure. What is so serious to the collective interest of partisans of that particular political party that you people have betrayed their trust? It is not about who is right, who is wrong here. The very time that they told her, say you go and see how bad you can sit down, you talk. The place the mistakes are, you guys can correct it. Bring Musa, bring Nyombli, you sit down, you talk. And at the end, to resolve your move. And Nyombli never wanted Eve. Like the way they said it. That, oh, yes, we'll call, and he did not, in fact, he did not do it, he went beyond us to submit and the rest of it. That's when the issue that the leadership comes in. Don't tell me you don't have executive committee member 2 on your side. That what the justice in chamber said that you guys should do, you could use that particular instruction to get the Liberty Party back. But you guys messed up bigly. Big time you guys messed up, and that's why the mess continued to unfold. And to clean this mess, it takes wisdom. It takes leadership. Oh yes, it takes wisdom to clean the mess that you guys have put, they put before supporters of the Liberty Party. So Musa, as per the external memo, the National Elections Commission, registered political parties in Liberia, the African Union, Economic Community of West African States, United Nations, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, the United States Embassy, the European Union in Liberia, foreign diplomatic missions in Liberia, National Democratic Institute, Carter Center, and the rest of other civil society organizations. Informing them, this particular memo is coming from the chairman of the Liberty Party, Musa Berete. The man the reference here is the authorized Liberty Party leadership. So the man is speaking as the authorized portion, not no longer the portion, but the authorized. So once you go to court and go say this side is, is being recognized, you just leave your own way. So the man is saying that the Supreme Court has handed down, its final ruling in the petition for a writ of, it has issued the final ruling in the case between Musa Hassan Berete and others, where you have the Liberty Party, the National Elections Commission, where you have Yombli Kanga Lawrence, Emmanuel Zanko, the respondents declaring the Liberty Party constitution, filed at the National Elections Commission, and the Liberty Party leadership duly elected and indicted in the January 2021 Liberty Party Special National Convention in Banga. So the mayor is now informing the EU, the United States Embassy, the African Union, the ECOWAS, UNDP, diplomatic missions, the foreign ones in Liberia, National Democratic Institute, the United Nations and the rest of it, informing them that under the leadership, the executive committee, under the leadership of the national chairman, that Musa Berete is the only authorized person to manage the day-to-day affairs of the Liberty Party, as per this particular memo. Then he said also, he's informing as well the UNDP, the USAID, the US Embassy, United Nations, and other foreign missions in Liberia that Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, Senator Grant Bassa, is no longer the political leader of the party. And he says Senator Lawrence Kanga was expelled from the position of political leader in March 2022. And that was applied to the court as per the court's ruling, the Supreme Court recent ruling. So what runs to mind? So now, in conclusion, the man said, he's asking all of those who need above as per his memo, that no one should do business, anything that has to do with the Liberty Party, the monarch call Nyombli kanga ni or nyombli kanga under National Executive Committee members, but the authorized leadership, the National Executive Committee member, the authorized leadership of Musa Hassan Biridi. That's the Liberty Party for you at this current stage. Like I said, it takes wisdom to clean the mess. It takes leadership. It takes the courage of the very people in that particular political party to sit down. It is not by you going second to any political institution. Like we talked about the record of former Councillor Brunskin from 2005 to 2017. But if you have the involvement of the audience, look, because of the dispute, people who are diehard supporters of the party have suspended their membership with the party. Sometimes they will not come to you physically, but they look the way in which the party going. They say, but I don't think it is important that I continue to follow this party. Let me hold back a bit, focus on another thing, focus on another political institution. The day they're ready will know. So people have lost taste. People who really supported the Liberty Party from 2005, 2011, 2017, some of them no longer believe in the current leadership of the Liberty Party. So because of that, they cannot see the Liberty Party, taking the mantle of authority or going to the presidency, because you see people who are not even concentrated on that particular high level. And again, the issue about you cannot have a split or divided political party. You cannot have a divided political party. You depend on it as a political institution that you want to go into with a marriage. And you have a split political party. Obviously, you have a divided member. So that's why when people, when you do a merger, you need to have a full house, the full support, because you're going against, like with the case of the CDC now, you have non-political parties going against the opposition. So you see, so if you have to collaborate, like people been calling when, the former vice president will choose his running mate and the rest of it. He continued to say he would choose somebody who has a vision like him. Like we're talking about vision. Someone who will drive the vision when he's no longer, capable, when he's no longer on the scene. Someone who will drive the vision of the Unity Party. We'll go to the telephone line 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. You'll be live on Good Morning Liberia. My name is Abraham Parker. Yes, this is Voice of Liberia. Good Morning Liberia. Let's have your say now. It's about time you have your contribution on the show. 0770 907 907. This person is on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the Voice of Liberia family. Good morning to my fellow Liberians on Radio Land this morning.
Let's hear you. What's your name?
Thank you very much for the opportunity you have put us to speak to our fellow Liberians on Radio Land this morning. By the way of introduction, I'm Alfonso A.F. Kamara, voting for district number 10 to brief research, and I joined this conversation from a resident transformer community.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
Let me quickly go to the issue of the Liberty Party saga. The Liberty Party saga is something that it had not been yet something that can be settled. It's something that's very easy to handle. But the matter of fact, when you do wrong, you will come out to say, oh, what I did is wrong thing I did. Then you come out and apologize. We all knew the saga that within Liberty Party is caused by Nombli Kanga and down the rest of the law, and the list going on within you. See, Liberty Party is a party that has good emblem. If you look at the name, Liberty Party is still for unity, togetherness. So the late Councillor Brodsky will not just that. There people be playing with the main party like that. They so
Thank you.
Because a Liberia allow the CPP to go and look ahead. We will hold the leaders accountable for the base country they will call and will be a chaos and national disaster to the country. So you never let you come out home. The arm is open for you to come home. We need you. We need you as a senator of this country. We need you as a leader and bishop of this country.
Thank you.
Don't be set to work for us.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. This is Bobby Abu Menska. From District 6 ST Kobaru. Let me appreciate you this morning and for the discussion. When it comes to Liberty Party issue, I'm a member of the Liberty Party Youth Congress. So, you see, the Liberty Party issue, even though over 2 years, we've been in the fire of the Liberty Party, even though as partisans of the party, those are following the party or follower of the party, are not satisfied with the way in how things running within the party. But just past of the matter is, Senator Youngly did extremely well in Gambasa. The chairman of VC said to us, after the court had ruled in his favor, according to the court, but the court did not, after the rule was not specified, now in the manner, if Youngly is the political leader of the party, we also see that ruling within the party. They just ruling in favor of BDT granted. So, what does Youngly Kanga do or reasons and other officials in the party in Picano? She apologized because of the perceptions of the people who have for Musa Sambelidi. For them, they said to us that Dillon and Youngly sold the party to BDT. They said to us that Dillon and Youngly brought BDT to the party. So she tried to demystify the myth that a lot of Liberians been living by. That's what she said to you, to the Liberian party, that is in the party. That Benedict was in the party for 2017. He spearheaded one of the best committees in the party. We were the campaign manager of the Liberty Party 2017. So Benedict is not just coming in the Liberty Party, but people decided to shift the blame on Youngly and they don't honor in the party, and it was wrong. So that was the message she tried to erase from the people's mind. Even though the court had ruled, Musa Zambede had a chance to reconcile the party as the chairman. Who told us to reconcile the party? It's the political leader. It's the chairman. The chairman spoke a recent unspoken that word about reconciliation. One part of reconciliation, all of a sudden, boom, we said that according to Facebook, that he expelled Youngly from the party and Azongo. Well, it is wrong on the part. So who doing the fight? But we know what the fight for. We know from the side ability and we know how they want to destroy the party.
Thank you.
The party will not be destroyed. We will fight the senator of the party to regain the image and integrity of the Liberty Party. Thank you, my brother.
Thanks so kindly. We talked to this person. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Solomon. We are calling from Chiguzu Factory, Lomaya District 12.
Solo, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, brother, what happened today in the Liberty Party? I will not blame the chairman Musa Belete, because I will blame the political leader Senator Lawrence, where she and I from the same county, Grandmaster County. Senator Lawrence was wanting a power, so all the men in the get passes, she was forgetting to know that time was coming to know.
Oh, my word. Very, very bad. But let's use this alternative line this morning. I hope my producer can just come in this morning. Let's use this alternative line, 0770. That's 0775 1891 93. Is the alternative line. Hope my producer can come in and get things straightened up here this morning. 0775 1891 93. 0881. That's 0880-907-907. You'll be live. This person. Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, Parker.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
This is a Dolphus Winnie, and I call for Javier to be perceived to Ruta.
Yeah, so Benny, it has really been a long time, and you've been a supporter of the Liberty Party. We saw you were very robust in 2017, pushing the agenda of the late Council of Branskin. But let's hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Parker, for the recognition in the Liberty Party. Thanks for that support. It has been a while. I'm not hear you too. Let me say it's a good thing that we can change this morning.
Yeah, sure.
But we are partly disappointed. You know, everybody go for a case to have a ruling coming down. We are not saying that the code is 100%. We are not saying that the code is not 100%. But I think the good thing about it, when somebody go to a case and you got bad, the thing about it, you got to come back in your nose share and think, say, where is way for? But I will record before the person who just drop your line say, normally come back. Look at the nomenclatures the party chairman is using now. Normally it's despair. They say come back and let everybody know and understand this thing. That Liberty Party root, the foundation is from Grand Bassa County. And you tell the house that the Stena Bell is our senator. It's a spear from the party because somebody was giving a court proceeding mandate. That indeed you are in Jedebe and you can go on the rest of it and you come to say we are sparing the foundation of the Liberty Party.
Waiting is out. 0775 1891 93. We'll talk to this person. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Tamba, and I call for Maria resident.
Let's go ahead, Tamba. Go ahead.
So good morning. Thank you very much. I follow your analysis from start to end, and I want to appreciate you for exercising the Liberty Party and the word liberty and means freedom to the people. And I'm a Basel man, and I believe in the Liberty Party. But let me go to the subject. Look, the Supreme Court, after the series of Guru battle in the Liberty Party, the Supreme Court made the head of the camera and say Chairman Benedict is right. The next day, I saw Chairman Benedict posting that what is next is a reconciliation for the Liberty Party. Even when on Spoon FM, he made that clear. What have printed this emphasis on suspension or quote unquote expulsion is the way Musa Belidi was branded in their press conference. Look, we all gotta be fair, come clean with the discussion. If the standard bearer or the political leader meant well for this party, she would not go further with the issue. The court rule, go back, thank God. And what she is taking responsibility for is not only because she brought Benedict to the party. She's taking responsibility because what they did, she and Senator Delon did, that printed
0775 1891 93, 0775 1891 93, 0880 907 907 are the numbers, and you will be live on Good Morning Liberia on VOL 104.1. My name is Abraham Parker. I'm here this morning, 50 minutes ago, putting your calls this morning. We talked to this person on line 1. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning. My name is Shinara Ganhoff. I call you from Broadville, the city of Broadville.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
I'm just sorry for the poor quality of my voice, and let me say good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia.
Go ahead.
Concerning issue when it comes to the Liberty Party, as we all know in the public that Councillor Boskin, the late, may his soul rest in peace, built the party for peace and unity among people, and coming to see that the leadership has been divided, I think it's not a good thing. What I think should be done, or what I think that it should be, that somebody has to come down and they all unify and push the agenda of the party so that the legacy of Boston cannot go down the drain. Because we knew the kind of person the late councillor was. So I think who think that is right and who think is wrong, sometimes you let go of your right, sometimes you let go of your wrong, sometimes you let go of your ego as a leader and unify to bring peace and harmony in the party. In that way, progressiveness can come. But when divided, it's not a good thing. So I think the leadership should see reason to go back to the drawing board. Let's forget about good proceeding. Let's forget about who right, who wrong, or who this, who that. And let it try to move in the right direction.
Thank you. Thanks so kindly. They're pressing on the line. Good morning. Let's hear you. Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel Gaga, and I do join the conversation from Kingsville, District number 4.
District 4, let's hear you, Painesville. Go ahead.
Yeah, after the analysis, I sat and listened quite well to the analysis. I think it was brilliant. The thing is this, nearly fraction of the Liberty Party, I think they have failed their mission and they need to take responsibility. They need to show leadership. Nobody need to show leadership. Come back to Musa. Musa is not very hard to deal with. Come back to him, you sit on the round table, discuss it. But guess what? You know why we're really suffering the passion of Yobi? Is that the greed within Yobi now, that she thinks that she can be the running mate to Ambassador Boaka. And it is embarrassing Ambassador Boaka to pick her because Boaka cannot pick a Yobi who has a divided political institution. How significant or relevant will she be to that collaboration?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take more calls right here. 12 minutes to go. 077 1891 93. That's the alternative orange number. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, so I jumped all along because of unit. So what I was saying is the way she branded the chairperson to say he is Oba partisan. Now, if you want to take responsibility or something, you take responsibility instead of partisan. Sorry, I am the reason. Me and Delon are the reason for which the party is going the way it's going. We are going to go back to the chairperson of the party so we can reconcile. You feel it with it? But for you to have brand the man to be a partisan, making the part of people believe that he is still in the province, then it speaks volume. Then the chairman will have to come back and maintain, because this is the constitutional. This is the party constitution that the Supreme Court is validating. So since the man is using his power, he uses his power to suspend you because of a violation in the party, then he wants to maintain that because it's the constitution that the Supreme Court is validating. So he wants to maintain that you were suspended and you have no right making business in the party until you be restored. That's a simple logic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 0775 1891 93. This person is on the Lone Star line. The lines are all blinking left and right. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Amos Aramores. I call you from a police academy wrestling. I'm a member of the Liberty Party.
Party.
I follow your analysis this morning. And only from my judgment, I see you're not being over balance. What I mean is that disability who you so caring towards his end, you're not been talking about the ills and the lapses of disability. And as it stands, when you see the process and the movement of disability, which is not in conformity with law of the party, and you pray him as a so good man.
No, let's get hello. Let's get this right. That particular the last portion of what I was saying, it was from the release of Belete. I did not bring Belete to be someone legal. But when the court tells you that this is where we are, this is where we go. So did I tell you that Belete is a good man, or he hasn't contributed, or he is not a problem also as well in the Liberty Party? Don't get me wrong.
From your analysis, it speaks to that directly. Because all of the last thing you point to Nyombi, Delon, and you left Belete out. Who author document that is criminal in nature, you did not speak to that. And moreover, you only went straight to the Supreme Court issue and not even take into consideration that Belete face both face and he suspended the political leader. But then I
also tell you that you didn't follow as well when the young Kanga faction. No, I didn't say the mayor posted.
No.
I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you that the mayor posted. I told you the mayor released a press release on yesterday, the 16th of April. I didn't know. It was one of the callers who said, who talk about posts. You ain't got me argue on anything or such. I told you the man did a release informing the United Nations, the U.S. Embassy,
Okay,
foreign
okay,
diplomatic
don't
missions
take
in
it
Liberia.
as a-
So go to the
as a-
issues and don't get me involved.
Eh? How can you take a decision as sustaining or as expelling this person and you just continue an executive committee meeting to take decision? Is there a unilateral decision you're taking? Is that tyrannic behavior? Benedict is carrying on. Man, you Benedict days are normal in that party. Will revert after this election. He feels he can win something to the election, but the election is that anything that matters now? We pass the stage of election, and Benedict days are normal in Liberty Party. Thank you so much.
Thanks, thanks as well for calling in. This person, good morning, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you.
My name is Emmanuel Bimba. I'm calling around SKD Sport Complex.
Go ahead, let's hear you, Chief.
And I think for me, the whole issue of the senator and ability has to do with the root, their interests. They are not in the same camp. They are not supporting the same person. Ability is on the other side, and Yombling is on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they are pushing their own agenda. If they were supporting one candidate or in the same camp, I don't think this case should have reached to where we are. So when you talk about reconciliation between the two, I think it's difficult because their interests, their loyalty. So that's where me I see the whole issue. Until that can be settled, there will be no peace between the two people. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. So we take two calls, 0770. Nice, this person. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, let's hear you.
My name is David S. Melko, and I phone you from 72nd Community.
Go ahead, let's hear
My
you.
brother from the offset of this whole PDT chairmanship, we knew very well that he came on a mission, and that mission is to destabilize and cause for make promotion within the Liberty Party. We know that PDT does not want Jamaican Lawrence to go ambassador ever on a black guy, because the individual he supposed lack the number of people, he lack the populace. He is not popular, and he is struggling to be popular within the political circle of Liberia. That is what he don't want. We knew very well that PDT is not a good human being. This man is stigmatized, really. He wants to tribalize that party. Excuse me, hello?
Go ahead.
He wants to tribalize the party. I even hearing rumors around that he even want to make the party a Maningo party. he is one person we are trying to support the Muslim people in this country. They just make you a chairman. See your behavior. What more when they make you a political head or they make you a president within the Republic of Liberia? And I don't think for what you're doing, Liberia will even make a mistake to even make a Muslim man or Fabian or something.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's leave you there. We don't want to go that route. 0770-907-907. We'll take the last call. We'll call it a day on this Monday's edition of Good Morning Liberia on VOL. 0775-1891-93 880-907-907 are the numbers. You will be live on Good Morning Liberia. Very interesting conversation. So this person will be our last caller coming in from the left flank of the conversation. Good morning, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you.
Thank you. This is Chilson Jedo, the People Defender joining from Looking Down this morning.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
Thank you.
Defender. You got me melting
I monitor your analysis this morning. And for us, we don't believe in Musa days, Nobikanga days, but we believe in the administrative procedure, the manner of fact that the code has ruled. That Musa Hassan Benete remain the chairman, the less of Nobikanga Loving, the Abraham Darrell Delon, they should be able to follow the doctrines of the party. So it's unfortunate that this man who sponsored the campaign were here. Darrell Delon and Nobikanga Loving benefited hugely from the current version of Musa Hassan Benedict, even all of those vehicles that were passing around in Monrovia with Liberty Party, they are for the personal pocket of Musa Hassan Benedict. So where were them? So as far as we are concerned, Benedict.
So the people they are in the party, they were not doing nothing.
It's not my party, but
if you are so clear that Benedict single-handedly supported the Liberty Party, so that was saying that.
Oh yes, absolutely. 2020 campaign.
Thanks for joining us.
Senatorial campaign, Benedict supported the party. All of the vehicles you see, the other guy were bluffing, were talking about Benedict. So what now? Thank you very much.
Okay, Hilton. We got to go, folks. Our listeners, our viewers, it has really been a wonderful time. God's willing, join us on Tuesday, tomorrow. At 7:30, we'll be here with another interesting conversation. But it's about Liberia. You know, anything you do, put Liberia first. So sometimes I see the politicians, they come, some of them presenting themselves to be this, the Messiah, the that. All that thing they can do. Look, in 2020, like I said, 300,000+ Liberians stood behind the CPP by them. So you think Liberians will just say that the people be fighting among themselves from here and there, and you continue to trust? The Liberty Party, that particular party, whether you're from the Nyobli Kanka faction, the BDT faction, like I said, it takes wisdom, leadership, to settle that particular dispute within that political institution. Let's put aside our personal, what we get personally. No, it is not. Look, it is about the collective interest. It is not about who you support, but the collective interest. That decision should have a trickle-down effect. The ordinary people should participate, because there will be the same people who will turn out to vote. Why it is true that most of the times the executive committee can be powerful in the rest of it, but who you think make the executive committee more powerful? The same people, the ordinary citizens within that political party are the ones that make it. If the executive committee can just work out, in collaboration with political leaders, come out with any decision, at the end result, once the people say we now support that particular decision, you have to go back on the round table. That's how it works. The will of the people should be reflected in everything you do. So you people, your political institutions, where today they're occupying the other building because they ain't got no institutional policy that will make the party so strong, when even that particular leadership that is there, when that leadership leaves, that the next people can have a good foundation to stand on and move. Nothing. Today the Liberty Party, they like in their own home, the party headquarters up and down, scattered, very filthy, and the rest of it. Unity Party still renting headquarters. They have to build their own political party headquarters, where people who are supporters of those political parties will go there. The young people will go there and learn some trade and different things, empowerment. They ain't thinking about that thing, but they can only rent the people buildings when they say election coming. Then you got political parties in Liberia. Join us on tomorrow. We'll be here with another interesting conversation. To then, my name is Abraham Parker. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for watching as well. Let's acknowledge those of you following quickly. My producer is telling me, yes, we all the time, but we just had to do this. We just have to do this before we take leave of you this morning.